This is a video about me begging parents to not teach your kids about sin. And here's a trigger warning for child harm. Hello. If you are a parent of a child or at some point plan on being a parent of a child, or you have any influence over children at all, like if you work in a facility that takes care of children or anything, if you have contact with children, I beg you, please don't teach them about sin. Here's why. It's estimated that 10% of people in the world are born with ADHD and or autism. These people find it really difficult to untangle what sin would be versus a mistake. So for me, I had ADHD as a child and I would keep forgetting things because my sequential memory is kind of messed up and I would forget to do things that my mom would tell me to do. And then the problem is when I would do that, then I would get in trouble because I disobeyed by not doing what I was supposed to do. And disobeying your parents is a sin. And so and then when I feel watched or pressured, then I do even worse, which is another aspect of that. And so then I started feeling like, oh, my will to disobey is stronger than my intent to obey. And I started feeling really dangerous and bad. And I want to tell you that kids can't understand the concept of between sin and a mistake. They can't. Young kids can't do it. They don't understand nuance like that. If you introduce the concept of sin or hell to them when they're young, and do you know what their imaginations are like? They picture that stuff. And it is macabre AF. And it's macabre means very bleak and or gruesome, bloody. It is. Do you know how much time I spent huddled in my room having panic attacks because I'd screwed up again, just like always, hating myself, and it was actually symptoms of ADHD, which my parents didn't know to look for because I was homeschooled, and they also didn't believe in that because they thought that if they just treated every kid with militance, then the kid would turn out the way they wanted them to, which was inaccurate. That is not going to work. That's not a true statement. You cannot force kids into being what you want them to be. You can only love them into being the best that wherever they are. But like, kids don't deserve to have that kind of messaging in their head. So like even if, and I wasn't neurotypical. I don't know how neurotypical kids take the concept of hell. Maybe they just don't really pay that much attention to it. But as an autistic kid, I brought it in there. Also, my parents exorcised me when I was 5 because of the monster that I saw under my bed. So there's that too. I was terrified of demons and hell and everything. But I'm deconstructing my childhood, and I'm realizing so many of the things that I hated myself for growing up were all things that was just because the people around me didn't know or care enough about what my situation was to help make me comfortable and to adjust their expectations for what I did or for who I turned into. And it doesn't work. I'm a 39-year-old adult and I've been unhoused for a year and a half. I was homeschooled in a Pentecostal cult. Well, I grew up in a Pentecostal cult and I was homeschooled in a cult, the IBLP one. And the adults from that lifestyle aren't okay, you guys. We have trauma, and we are shells of people that and we've never been taught to grow anything on the inside that is of any real help. Please don't teach your kids about sin. Please, I beg you. Please, it's indoctrination at that age. Even if you believe in it, and you can't stop believing in it, please don't put it in your kids' heads until they're much, much older, because you don't know how many people have probably been lost to the concept of sin. And people use it to try to control other people into not getting in trouble, which feels like love, but it's not love, you guys. Controlling someone isn't love. Repression, suppression, not educating isn't love. It is abuse, and it is indoctrination. And I don't care what your mindset is. If you are controlling everything that goes into a child, it is indoctrination, because kids are easily indoctrinated. They are vulnerable. And if you love them, you will remember that. You will remember that they only know about sin if you teach it to them. And please don't saddle them with that debt, with that burden that they will have to somehow get out of later in their life, and they might not be able to. And so there might not be a later in their life. Please don't teach your kids about sin.